Called te Ururoa, Flavell.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker, tēnā tātou katoa I tēnei pō, ia tātou e kōrero nei mo te āhuatanga o tēnei pire. I tōna pānuitanga tuarua, anei tonu te whakaaro, anā whakaaro o te Pāti Māori. Kei te noho āhua rangirua mātau o te Pāti Māori, I tēnei wā. Tēnā pai ki au te āhuatanga o ngā kōrero kua puta I te pōnei. Nā taha e rua, taira anō kia mātou e noho nei, ki tēnei mea I kōrero I mua I au, pai ki au te whakarongo ki ana kōrero, me tōna whakamārama, o tira nā kōrero o te Rōpū Reipā, Leanne Dalzell, ka mutu ki te honore mema, Mr. Parker I mua I aia, ka mutu ki te menita. Mr. Speaker, it's clear that across the in the introduction of this bill, that the Minister talked about the purpose of the bill being to enable greater use of audio-visual links in New Zealand courts. We know that IT advances are being seen everywhere, so it's probably appropriate that we move in that direction. I suppose the biggest question for us is the Māori Party, and I have to say that I've really enjoyed tonight's discussion, debate, and the views that have been put forward. I suppose it's balancing out the benefits versus the downsides of this particular legislation. And I suppose that's where we're sitting at the moment. At the moment, I can say to the Minister that the Māori Party is prepared to let it a little go further on its course and give it to some support, knowing full well that we want to certainly advance some of the ideas put by Mr. Kennedy Graham. I enjoyed his kōrero. Well, no, I didn't enjoy it, I understood it. I understood it more to the point. And I also, because it was along the same lines, and these are some of the concerns, pēnei a mātou te Pāti Māori, e pērā nō hoki ana whakaaro. If we are to look at the benefits, well, I think it's clear that costs will be reduced for participants in the court process if they're not required, obviously, to travel from one end of the country to the other, or even half the country. But instead, the court will go to them. That's good. Pai tonu tērā. We have an expectation of improved safety and security for all of those involved in criminal cases. Pai anō hoki tērā. We recognise that increased access to justice will come because the audio-visual links will enable matters to be heard in provincial areas without the need for the judge to travel on the circuit. And of course, we know that there are a large number of court cases that have been backed up for some time. And in my particular area in Waiariki, waiting for the court to come around, or rather getting to court, has been sometimes a long time between drinks. We reckon that there might be improved quality of evidence by making it easier for witnesses to participate. We hope that there will be enhanced efficiency of expert witnesses and interpreters, and we hope that the system will assist victims and witnesses to appear in court without being confronted in person by the accused. But I certainly latch on to the discussion from Kennedy Graham and the members from the Labour side with respect to that fundamental right which they talked about, the accused having the right to attend their case in person. I hear that debate. Mr. Speaker, these advances all appear to be relatively non-contentious and straightforward, but, and of course there are obviously some buts, the hub of our concerns rests around Part 2, Clause 6. Now, it can be said that this is revolving around the safeguards which protect the impact of technology on the right of the defendant to a fair trial in criminal matters, which is pretty much the debate at the moment. Of course, we of the Māori Party believe in the pursuit of justice, whāinga I te tika me te pono, and rest a lot of faith in the legal system delivering that. But the strange thing is that in looking at the submissions, and I understand it was about 8 submitters, that the Human Rights Commission's, their sole concern seemed to be around the speed with which the initiative is progressing. In the short time available to make the submission on this bill, that commission has been was unable to complete a full analysis of all types of cases which would come under the broad categorisation that the bill anticipates. The human rights implications in any non-criminal case involving detention or other penalties need to be carefully considered, sir. From our perspective, we want to be assured that the use of audio-visual links actually does improve court efficiency, safety and security, and does so without harm to any person. And in looking over the submissions, the New Zealand Law Society brought to our attention the statement in the explanatory note that the bill will ensure that all AVL facilities are installed in courts, that they can be used to their full potential, but must be treated with caution. They suggested that while it is desirable that the AVL systems should be used to the fullest extent possible, they should used only where appropriate. So that's a minor detail, but in the sense that it's still a caution on our part. We will be looking for advice on the writ of habeas corpus, that is to protect persons from being harmed by the judicial system. This again is an important legal instrument which safeguards the rights and freedoms of the individual, and we will hope that they will not be sacrificed by any moves in this bill. Mr. Speaker, we've said a number of times in this House that the Māori Party supports a restorative justice system where victims are empowered. We want to know that the court proceedings will be conducted in a safe environment that will ensure the physical safety of all court users. And finally, just turning to the submission from the Whitireia Community Law Centre, they told the Select Committee that they agree with the overall purpose of the bill, purpose of the bill to provide greater use of AVL. However, the Centre queries the effectiveness and how AVL will be used within courts, especially when used for participants in criminal proceedings. So we've heard all these stories around defendants who have attacked the judiciary, court officials and others. We will be supporting this bill at the second reading, but we want to know that safety is assured for all in the court, as well as protecting the right of the defendant to a fair trial. And of course, we will be looking out for advice on this during the committee stages. And I can say in closing, Sir, that we will be paying close attention to the discussions, hopefully picking up on the key points. I myself am not a lawyer, but I do understand that general principle that was stated earlier by a number of members, and we'd hope to be that they can be addressed, and look forward to probably some SOPs and working constructively also with the Minister and the other parties to see if we can't come to a place where we're all going to be happy. Under those circumstances, sir, we will be supporting this at second reading, but with the proviso that we'll be taking a very careful note at the committee stage into the third reading. Kia ora tātou.